Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. That's right, this is Project Smurf. You know what Project Smurf is? That motor is going into a 3rd gen Camaro. Let me show you what it looks like. That's right, 1984 Camaro. That LS, that's a 5.3 motor. That's going to go in here. And look how much work I have been doing. That's right, we have painted the whole inside the engine bay. It had like 3 different colors. Now we got one constant color. These front little fog lights were not working. Headlights are working finally. Camera cut off again, not sure what's causing that, maybe low battery. Anyway, better talk quick. So anyway, got the fan installed. That's a 3rd gen radiator, 4th gen. It's going to be fun because my camera keeps going with low battery. Real quick. 4th gen radiator, 3rd gen Camaro radiator. Rewind. Fresh battery in the camera. So let's restart one more time. Okay. 3rd gen Camaro, 1984 Camaro Z28. Actually, I think it's an IROC. Z. It's right down there. Anyway, so what I have got done so far. Painted the inside of the engine bay, made it one cohesive color, black. Should look good with aluminum. Notice how it blends in over, pretty cool. Okay, 3rd gen Camaro radiator, aluminum, so it's a little bit different than what was in there, but it still is 3rd gen body style, or 3rd gen whatever radiator. Come on, let's keep going. 4th gen fans. These things move a lot of air, and we want to. He's going to be using this in the summertime. Face it, it's convertible. So when else he's going to drive? He's not going to drive in the winter, right? He's going to drive it in the summertime when it's nice and warm. With the top down, he'll be cruising around. One thing he wants to make sure this motor stays cool. Only way you're going to make it cool is have a good fan setup, and these things move a lots of air. Okay, so. I think we got the radiator covered. The fans we're going to be using. I think I already told you. We got some of the lights starting to blinky on and stuff. So we got some of this stuff happening here. Wiring, you don't see that much laying here at all. Only wiring I have is really for the lights up here. And you can see way down there. That is for the starter wire and for the solenoid. I think washer, pump, and the wipers. He even asked me, hey, does he need wipers? Well, I have the wiring for him. I got the motor. Might as well put the wipers on. You never know. It might rain during the summer. He needs a, I don't know, clean his window. Whatever. So he'll have that. We'll have that installed. So we still got a few things we have to figure out. One, we have to figure out where the ECU is going to go. Okay? Let me get to that here right now. Okay. ECU mount. Okay. This is the ECU, Terminator X, okay? 2 places that can go. Obviously, it can either go the inside or it can go to the outside. Pros and cons. This is going to be more in the elements, okay? If this was not a... God darn it, my camera keeps shutting off. Okay. If I was going to be driving this thing in all weather, I would highly suggest mounting this inside. But since this was going to be used mainly during the summertime and fair weather, good weather condition, it'd make it a lot easier mounting it out down here. And that's what I'm thinking we're going to do. I'm going to probably mount it up over here. Okay, somewhere over here. Make sure the connector is pointed down. That would be the easiest thing to do. Makes a lot cleaner install. So plus what else that does, that gives where all the cables are on the outside. In other words, I don't have to route any of the big cables from the inside of the car to out. You have to make a big hole to get all those cables through. With putting it on the outside or in the engine bay, you don't have to deal with that. You just have to route it, make it look clean, and you're good, right? So the only thing I really have to go to the inside is a small itty bitty cable that runs the display. And that's where we're going to put it inside the car. Going to have the display there so he has all the functions and all that stuff that the ECU offers. So I just need to find a place to put it. Probably going to go over there in the corner. So with that, probably going to work on trying to find out how we're going to mount that. Got that to do. I have to find out where I'm going to put the relays for the fans, because I need to, the ECU is going to control turning on the fans. So I need to mount some relays over here somewhere, protected or not, or somewhere, make it look good. I have to get the wiring for that. I also have to get the wire that triggers the key. Okay, so what I mean by that, see that key right down there? What I want to happen is when he sits there, just like a normal car, you sit there and turn the key on, it's going to fire up the motor. I was talking about maybe put a push button start on there, turn the key to the on position, then reach over and hit the start button, and that'd probably be a cool thing to do. Or we have it where we just key on and starts up. So I might do that. It's a little bit cleaner look. I don't have to worry about putting a button in, any of that good stuff. But I had to find that wire somewhere underneath this dash here that triggers it's probably going to the existing ECU, but I need to find that wire so I can bring it to the outside. When I was doing a lot of cleanup and all that stuff, I cut a lot of wires. I don't think that wire actually goes to the outside in the engine bay anyway. It's somewhere here underneath the dash, so I'm gonna have to figure out where that wire is and run a wire from the outside in. So probably got another extra wire running there. Sensor wires, let's talk about that. Okay, sensor wires, we're talking about coolant temp, oil pressure, oil temp, fuel pressure. Is that right? 4 things. In oil pressure switch, that'd be another thing. That's 5. Oil pressure switch, not really it's an indicator. Basically, I'm going to put a light somewhere here over by the dash or somewhere along here, and if that light's on, it means there's 0 oil pressure. I want him to know that if that light's on, please pull the car over. We don't want to burn the motor up. Pretty straightforward. But everything else wise, the fuel pressure, oil temp, oil pressure, fuel pressure, all that stuff is going to be on that little box from the Terminator system. He'll have all the functions on there that we need. I'm not going to worry about getting the dash gauges working whatsoever. The only thing that's going to work on here is obviously the speedometer and the tach. So I will try to find out how we get the tach working on there as well. I think it'd be cool to piggyback off that, so you'll see that. Fuel gauge will be working, but in battery indicator. But oil, or I don't think it has oil temp. No, it just has a temperature gauge. Maybe throw an extra sensor in the head and he can have a oil temper shown on the inside. Not necessary, because we're going to find a location for this gauge or the Terminator display box set up here. I don't know. We might put it in over here. These won't work because there's no AC, no air conditioning, no heater, no nothing. So we could probably make it, put a mount there or something like that. I don't think, I see some people put it up here. I don't like that. I think we put it off to the side here. It'll probably be good. Underneath the dash a little bit, protected from the elements and all that stuff. And, you know, just, I think it'd be a cool location. We'll mount it really good so he has a good visual look, so he can just look over and see how the things are working and all that good stuff. So, okay, radiator done. But now I have to find a place to mount the ECU. Look at that. Isn't that blending good? Now that tool helped me put these, what I call jack nuts, I guess. Kind of blind nuts. Anyway, helps me mount the box. And this we're going to mount the brains, if you so to speak, of the whole system here. So anyway, that's going to look nice. Access for the bottom for the cords and all that. And we'll get those cords where the cable's laying here nice, tuck them up and make them look pretty. So anyway, that's the only thing I got done for the night. Other than that, always another night. So stay tuned. Also, I started laying out the wiring for the Terminator X. So, trying to get a feel for where all the wires are going to go and all that stuff up here on the motor. And how I'm going to make the connectors and all that good stuff. So, anyway, kind of laid it up here just to see what it looks like. Making some progress. Yeah, I have a cold, so if I sound funny, because I have a cold past couple days, it came on, so I sound this way. Sorry guys, but it is what it is, but I am pushing through to get this thing done. Anyway, got the motor mounts mounted up, got the brake lines all cleaned up. This is all caked and all that good stuff, so I got those mounted. Okay, just about done. Just now realized I need to get the control arms on. I'm not too sure it's a good idea to put these brake lines or not. So, okay, next, since where we got the bushings replaced, if you have not seen that video, click up the link here. I'll show you how to replace these bushings. So with that, we're ready to go and get the lower control arms installed onto the K-member. So let me get that installed and see what else we need to get done here. So here we go. Hey guys, it's been many days. It's been blistering cold outside. Finally got up here to shop here. Last time I've been up here was Saturday, and today is Thursday. So yeah, almost 5 days since I have actually worked up here. Last thing I got done was the basically the fuel system. So yeah, did get some parts in. This is the let me see. This is the new fuel tank. That's the sender assembly, whatever, that goes in the fuel tank. That's where the fuel pump will actually attach to and all that stuff. So got that. So we just need to pull the old tank out and put the new tank in and all the new parts with it, connect everything up, and we should be good to go. Okay, for the relays, I think I'm just going to go ahead and mount it right here on the fan shroud. Then I can just run a big power wire to power both of these, then 2 trigger wires to trigger each relay. Battery's going to be right here, so I'm going to have a pretty thick cable going from the battery that's going to sit right here and come over to the relays. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. Okay, got some of the wiring done on the fans. I think the relays here is going to work out good. I got everything soldered in, wired up. I went ahead and put these inline fuses down here. These are weather sealed, so put the fuse in them and they're protected from the weather, so any road grime, any of that stuff, make sure, you know, it doesn't contaminate the fuse and stuff like that. So that's the best I can, you know, come up with. So it's one of these. So anyway, still got to figure out how I'm going to connect it in all over here. Like I said, battery's going to sit here. And also have to make it somewhat serviceable. So in case you have to take the radiator out, how are you going to disconnect all this to make it so you can actually pull the radiator or the whole assembly. So chances are you're going to have to pull the radiator plus the fans out. So I don't know how I'm going to get this where we can disconnect it. I might have to put some quick connectors on the trigger wires, you know, triggers the relay. These might have a connector on it. The ground wire and power wire, you're probably just gonna have to unbolt it from the ground. I mean, I don't know what else I can do there. So, but overall, I think it's gonna come out pretty nice. So, and I did like how the layout. I rather prefer the wire going down like this than up and over. So at least that's what I'm thinking. So anyway, let me finish this up over here, and we might test these things up and see how they work. So making progress. Okay, gonna test it out. Here's one fan. Here's the other one. See if I can get both of them going. Okay. Finally, the K-member is actually in the car, but you're right, no motor yet. But I did to get the control arms. I need to get the K-member in the car so I can get the control arms. It was very difficult to get it done on the bench. One was really hard getting in, but once I put it up here, everything kind of slid in just fine. So anyway, still need to tighten the bolts up on this. Get those secured so they won't fall out. Did a little bit more work inside here. Got some wiring done. Got the wiper motor installed. Yeah, let her out. It's on the move. Yep. Look at this. We are making progress now. Got the motor on the K member. Yay. So the plans are to go ahead and get it test fitted. Still got the transmission over there. Go ahead and get this on. Got the flywheel on. Just need to torque it down. So we're gonna mate the transmission to this. This way we can set these motor mounts. These are dingo motor mounts, so the engine can slide back and forth. So I'm not too sure where it needs to be. So I just got these bolts right now loosened. So we'll tighten those up once we get it positioned up here in the car and figure out where it needs to sit at. But we are making progress. It's going to be just kind of a dry fit, test fit for right now. Just make sure we got everything in the right locations. Nothing's hitting anywhere. So we got that to get figured out. But yeah, making some progress. Like I said, we are going to put the headers on temporary just to show what it looks like. Make sure we test fit it, right? Okay, got the transmission temporary on there. I do not have the converter installed. Just more weight. I just want to push around because I'm going to have to disassemble this anyway. And the reason why, these guys, they had no plugs or studs a stub out here. Okay, a little dowel pin, I guess is what it is. It was missing. So if you can see that or not, I used a socket for now. 7/16 socket fits in there just nice, and it helps it position it. Because really the transmission rests on these dowels, so torquing the dowel pins take all care of all that. So anyway, I've got to find some new dowel pins because I don't want to use sockets in there. But it does suffice for now to go ahead and test this out. Like I said, the converter's not in there. Not going to put the headers on because I'm going to have to adjust these brackets. So I'm going to leave the headers off for now. So it's going to be a multiple install, uninstall. So I'm going to do at least 2 times. So anyway, so right now let's go ahead and try to get it up in the car so we can get the motor mount set. See what's going to set back here. Get all that good and tightened down. We'll lower it down. Then we'll put the headers on, stick it back up in the hole, and check for fitment for the headers. Make sure it clears all the frame rails. One thing I am concerned about is the fuel lines right there. So hopefully that will not impact if there's enough room. If anything, might have to put a little heat shield there, but I really won't know until I get the headers on. So with that, let's go ahead and get it up in the car. Okay, as you can tell, we got the motor in there. A lot different than the 4th gens, that's for sure. Couple things I found out. We're gonna have to do some trimming. I think this bell housing is sticking out farther. It won't let the headers come through. So we're gonna come here and cut this whole thing off right here. Try to get this over the way. We're gonna probably do the same thing with the driver's side over here and just kind of cut the ears off, so to speak. We don't have a dust shield on it anyway. Is what it is. So but I need to get some room for the headers. It just, there's only a few inches of space here, maybe 3 at the most, but this is going to have to get trimmed off. I think that's what a lot of people do anyway. Not sure. The other thing, when you point it from the bottom, naturally the steering linkages, all that stuff had to be gone anyway. Luckily it did. There's no way to get the motor up. This comes close to the alternator, but it clears it. What else was there? The other thing we have to check is the clearance underneath this guy here. It's pretty close on the brake line, but we might have to relocate that brake line or move it another location. I just can't tell. It looks like it's sitting on it, but it seems like there's still a gap underneath, so I really don't know. So other than that, everything else will come along good. We just need to trim this off, and that's what we're getting ready to do next. Okay, guys. Might have to end the video here, but the most important thing right now, it's in the car. We have a few little issues I need to resolve. Let me point those out here real quick. Then I'll talk about how I am going to resolve it. Let me get my flashlight. First issue, linkage connect up to this. It's a 700 R4 transmission. This linkage, it is right, I don't have it on here right now, but it is really, really close to this header. So we're going to shorten this up, and probably in the next video, I'll probably have that in there. The other issue we have is the fuel system. This right here, no bueno. It's not going to work. The headers are actually hitting it. I knew it was going to be close. I didn't know how close it was going to be. So I think we have a workaround for that. All this is going to get removed. We got plenty of room back here. Got some hard lines right there. Anyway, we're going to reroute that fuel line, get it away from this header here. It's just the nature of the beast. What can I say? So then we still need to figure out how we're going to get the transmission lines. But overall, it is coming together. It just, you know, one step forward, 2 steps back, sometimes 3 steps forward, 1 step back. But it is what it is. And but these are what happens when you kind of do something different. And you know, you're out of your realm. Like I said, 4th gen is my forte. 3rd gen, not as much. But I'm just happy to see it sitting in the car here. So with that, I'm going to end the video now. The next video I'm going to start up, I'm going to show you what I did to resolve all these fixes and all that stuff. Do appreciate you guys watching. I've seen great comments about what I've been working on and all that good stuff. So with that, man, share, like, hopefully here real shortly, maybe hope here next few weeks, cross my fingers, that we'll actually get this thing started. So maybe not, I don't know. So my goal is try to get things started here in February, so which is just around the corner. So with that, I'm out of here until next time. Thanks for watching.